There is a kind of poison that doesn't come in a bottle. It comes in your thoughts. It hides behind excitement. It whispers that you need just one more taste, one more look, one more moment. This poison is lust. Lust doesn't break your mind overnight. It's quiet. It's patient. It waits for you to become comfortable. And then it begins its work. In the beginning, it feels harmless. A passing thought, a small desire, a little distraction from stress. But every time you feed it, the brain learns a new pattern. It learns that chasing pleasure is the fastest way to feel alive. And soon, that becomes the only way you know how to feel anything at all. Science calls this conditioning. Your brain releases a chemical called dopamine every time you experience pleasure or anticipation. Dopamine is not evil. It's what helps you enjoy life. But the problem starts when your mind starts chasing that chemical more than real living. You're no longer working for happiness. You're working for the next hit of dopamine. This is how lust slowly takes over the mind. It changes the brain's reward system. It makes normal life, food, laughter, conversation, feel boring. And then it demands stronger and stronger stimulation to get the same small rush. Have you ever noticed how quickly excitement fades? How one thing that thrilled you last month feels dull today? That's not aging. That's the desensitization of the brain. It's what happens when pleasure becomes addiction. Lust trains the mind to chase what it cannot keep. It convinces you that satisfaction is just one step away. But that step never ends. The more you run after it, the farther peace moves away. Now think about how much energy the human brain uses every day. Every decision, every thought, every plan requires focus. But lust drains that focus. It takes your attention hostage. You can't build a calm, sharp mind when half your thoughts are fighting urges you don't even want to have. That's the first sign of destruction. Mental fog. People say, "I can't concentrate anymore." They forget names, skip tasks, lose patience easily. Why? Because the brain is spending its energy fighting itself. And here's what's worse. Lust doesn't just affect attention, it rewires motivation. When you get pleasure instantly without effort, your brain learns that reward doesn't need discipline. So when it's time to work, to study, to build something meaningful, your brain resists. It whispers, "Why struggle for slow results when pleasure is one click away?" That single thought has destroyed millions of dreams. It's why men lose their hunger for purpose. It's why so many people start projects but never finish them. The mind that's addicted to quick reward cannot survive long battles. Lust slowly kills the warrior spirit inside you. It takes away your fire to fight for your future. It replaces passion with emptiness. And when that happens, the world loses one more strong soul. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you felt real joy that lasted longer than a few minutes? When was the last time you felt proud of your discipline, not your desire? This is not about guilt, it's about awareness, because awareness is the first weapon against control. When you know how lust works, you can see how it traps you. It starts small, a thought, a fantasy, a curiosity. Then it grows into habit, and habit grows into need. The mind tells you, "I need this to relax, to sleep, to feel better." But that's a lie. Your brain doesn't need more stimulation. It needs rest, it needs recovery, it needs quiet time to rebuild focus. When you give in to lust repeatedly, your brain loses its natural rhythm. Sleep becomes shallow, energy becomes unstable. You wake up tired even after 8 hours. That's because the brain never truly rests when it's addicted to excitement. You see, lust keeps the nervous system on alert. It pushes your body into constant anticipation mode, the same system that activates during stress. So while you think you're relaxing, your brain thinks you're fighting. That's why people who chase pleasure too often feel anxious for no reason. Their body is stuck between pleasure and panic. Over time, this mental conflict leads to emotional exhaustion. You feel empty, restless, sometimes even angry at yourself, but you can't explain why. That's the slow destruction of peace. The mind can't heal because it's always chasing something that keeps reopening the wound. Let's step back for a second and look at this scientifically. In brain scans, addiction to lust looks very similar to addiction to drugs. Both overstimulate the dopamine system. Both shrink the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, the prefrontal cortex. That's the part that helps you say no. So the more you give in, the harder it becomes to resist next time. That's why people say, "I'll stop tomorrow," but don't. Their brain has been rewired. It's not about willpower anymore. It's about healing those damaged circuits. But there's good news. The brain is alive. It can repair itself through a process called neuroplasticity. That means every time you resist temptation, even for a moment, your brain starts building new connections. You train yourself to find pleasure in discipline, peace, and growth, not destruction. Many people underestimate how strong the recovery process can be. After even a few weeks of discipline, they feel mental clarity returning. Colors look brighter, music sounds better, they laugh more. Why? Because dopamine sensitivity is returning to normal. The mind begins to feel joy again, real joy, not artificial highs. But to reach that state, you must go through discomfort. The first few weeks of withdrawal are hard. You may feel restless, bored, even sad. That's your brain's way of begging for another hit. If you hold your ground during that time, you win back your mind. Remember, the enemy here isn't desire itself. Desire is natural. The problem is when desire becomes your master instead of your servant. Desire should inspire you to build, to create, to love, to connect, not to escape reality. Lust destroys by turning desire inward, making it selfish, obsessive, and empty. It promises comfort, but gives chaos. Here's something to think about. Every moment you spend feeding lust, you lose focus that could have been used for greatness. Every click, every fantasy, every surrender costs you the most valuable currency of life, your attention. Your attention is your energy. Where it goes, your life follows. That's why protecting your attention is more powerful than protecting your money. Because a man with money but no focus is poor. But a man with focus can rebuild everything he's lost. The mind you have right now is not fixed. You can rewire it through daily choices. Every time you reject lustful thinking, your brain's control center grows stronger. You train your prefrontal cortex like a muscle, and soon you'll feel it, a quiet power returning to you. A clear mind, a calm heart, a sense of direction. That is how discipline is born. But the war doesn't end there. Lust is clever. It hides behind boredom, stress, loneliness. It whispers, "You deserve a little relief." That's how it sneaks back in. If you let your guard down, it begins again. Slowly, quietly, patiently. That's why awareness must become a daily habit. You don't fight lust once. You stay awake to its tricks forever. The most successful people in history understood this. They protected their focus like treasure. They knew that creativity, innovation, and peace come from a still mind. They refused to waste their inner power on temporary pleasure. You can do the same. And when you do, something amazing happens. The energy you used to lose through lust comes back to you in the form of motivation. You'll feel stronger, more alive, more centered. You'll notice how much you can achieve when your mind isn't scattered. That power was always yours. You just gave it away to a thief that never deserved it. And that brings us to a hard truth. Lust doesn't destroy you quickly. It destroys you slowly enough that you do not notice, until the day you look in the mirror and wonder where your fire went. You see, the mind doesn't collapse all at once. It fades, inch by inch, thought by thought, and lust is the hand that slowly pushes it off the cliff. It begins as a whisper, a small curiosity, an innocent indulgence. But that whisper grows louder, until it becomes the only voice you hear. When lust takes over, peace becomes impossible, because the mind starts living in conflict, wanting pleasure, yet hating itself for it. Every time you give in, a part of you dies quietly. The part that was proud, strong, and full of purpose. Now think about it. How many great men have fallen because of lust? Kings lost their kingdoms. Warriors lost their strength. Thinkers lost their clarity. They didn't fall because someone was stronger than them. They fell because their own desires became stronger than their discipline. And that's how lust destroys the mind. Not through war, but through slow surrender. It clouds your focus. It eats away your confidence. It replaces gratitude with craving. And soon, you begin to forget what real happiness feels like. You start to chase pleasure, but pleasure keeps running ahead of you, always just out of reach. You feel tired, empty, drained, but still you keep running. It's like drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you get. Your brain's reward system, the same system that once gave you energy to build, to create, to protect, is now hijacked by lust. Every image, every fantasy, every moment of weakness feeds that system until it demands more and more to feel alive. You think you're in control, but you're not. You've become a servant of your own desire, and here's the cruel truth. Lust never gives, it only takes. It takes your attention, it takes your drive, it takes your peace. And when it's done, it takes your soul. But here's where the story can change. Because while lust destroys slowly, discipline rebuilds just as powerfully. You can rewire your mind. You can reclaim your focus. You can take back your strength. Every time you resist lust, you're not losing pleasure. You're gaining power. And that power is what gives birth to peace. Imagine waking up in the morning, not feeling shame or regret, but feeling calm, proud, centered, because you're finally in control again. Imagine the same energy you wasted chasing temporary pleasure now being used to build something lasting, your health, your purpose, your legacy. When you save your seed, you save your strength. You're not just holding energy, you're storing life force. That energy fuels creativity, courage, focus, and masculinity. But lust wants to drain that, because a weak man is easier to control. And the world today is full of weak men, not because they lack potential, but because they waste it. They give away their power one click at a time, one indulgence at a time, one regret at a time. But you can break the cycle. You can look temptation in the eye and say, "Not today." You can become the man who guards his energy, his focus, his purpose. And that man, that disciplined man, becomes unstoppable. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Pleasure has a price, and when you pay it with your peace, you're always overpaying. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let lust rent space in your mind? How much longer will you trade your calm for chaos, your strength for weakness, your purpose for poison? The longer you feed lust, the hungrier it becomes. But the moment you starve it, it starts to die. And as it dies, your mind begins to heal, your thoughts clear, your focus sharpens, your heart finds peace again. That's the quiet miracle of discipline. It doesn't make life easier, it makes you stronger. So the next time temptation calls your name, remember this: you are not your urges, you are the one who chooses. Don't let a few seconds of pleasure steal years of peace. Don't let lust win the battle your ancestors fought to survive. Because your strength, your real strength, lies not in giving in, but in holding back. And when you win that battle, you don't just conquer lust, you conquer yourself. If this message spoke to you, your next step is waiting. Watch the next video on my channel, The Battle Between Desire and Discipline. There we'll go even deeper, exploring how self-control can rebuild your brain and how you can turn every temptation into strength. Click it now, because the war inside your mind has already begun. And only the disciplined survive.